Coming up on Guardians of the North.
We got a couple of rookies here. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
They toss and turn. You're getting thrown around in that plane.
There's a good chance they will get sick.
I don't quite know what I'm getting myself into yet, but here we go.
Every summer we deal with hundreds of wildfires.
The fire, it's like a living thing. It's creating its own weather.
We're protecting livelihoods, communities. We are protecting the North.
It was near the end of the patrol, and I was just scanning along the horizon.
There appears to be a fire that just started south of Stanley. Has that been called in yet?
Negative, it hasn't.
Hey boys, we got a new start right close to Stanley. Got the coordinates here. It's near town. Let's get rolling.
Right on.
Knowing where the location was, we knew it was gonna be trouble.
We grabbed our pilots and we were out the door and to the plane.
In the northern boreal forest, a massive wildfire breaks out near an isolated community.
The McAfee fire is a monster. It's threatening the community of Stanley Mission.
With only one road in and out, the residents of Stanley Mission fear they'll be trapped.
We got up close to it. You could see the flames as high as the treetops, 100 feet high, just roaring or rolling along.
So guys, our worst fears have come true.
Everybody was outside, you know, looking at the fire. I felt scared.
By the looks of things, boys, the fires picked it up.
For seasoned veterans, it's one of the most aggressive fires of their careers.
If that fire gets into the trees, it's going to run. That's exactly what happened.
The fire was moving a different direction every day. Our main priority is human life.
For the rookies on board, it's their first real brush with danger.
Flying into that fire, that was probably the scariest thing I've ever done.
Only a few months into the job, their training will be put to the ultimate test.
Well, guys, welcome back. First day of the season's upon us again. I'm going to be honest, I didn't miss you guys during the winter. But you're here now, so we're stuck with you for 5 months. My name's Avery. I'm the fire base supervisor here at Larange Fire Base. We're located in the boreal forest, and our job is to initial attack wildfires. Last summer, we had a busy season. We had 140 fires. It could be the same again. At this base here in Larange, we're fortunate to have good wealth of experience. Matthew is our most experienced firefighter. We lean on him lots.
It's good to be back, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I've been fighting fire since the mid-70s. To this day, I'm still learning. As you are well aware, I'm one of the guys that are going to die with their boots on.
Most staff are local First Nations members, and they know the area. They've grown up here. They've lived on the land. They know their way in the bush. They're excellent firefighters.
We're in the middle of the boreal forest, and it's real wilderness out here. Every summer, we deal with hundreds of wildfires.
When we get fires, we try to hit them fast and hard to keep them small so they don't take a run.
There's lots of fires that they're going to do what they want.
In my culture at Wildland Cree, we believe in the fire itself. It's like a living thing. Every living thing has a spirit. It's creating its own weather. The elders say respect it, because if you don't, you're going to get hurt. You could even lose your life.
I really feel that we are protecting the North. We're protecting people's lives. We're protecting structures, livelihoods, communities. We got a couple of rookies here, Aidan and Philip. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hey, I'm Aidan.
The one guy grew up in the city and he's never seen a wildfire before.
I moved up to Orange because I wanted to become a firefighter and fight forest fires. Looking forward to it, ready to learn all the training and get ready for the fire season.
It's a good group around here. We have a lot of fun and haven't had a fist fight in 3 years, so we're good.
I don't quite know what I'm getting myself into yet, but here we go.
At the beginning of each season, all wildland firefighters must pass a rigorous fitness test.
There's 4 components to the test. For all 4 components, you need to be wearing this weighted belt. When you're in the bush chasing fires, having to go over logs through bogs and muskeg, it's not easy, so you got to be physically fit to do this work. Next up, we got the rookie.
I'm pretty nervous. I trained a little bit, you know, running on the treadmill and whatnot, trying to get my cardio up before.
When you cross the line, I start the clock.
If Aidan fails to beat the cutoff time, he won't be allowed to join the veterans on the front line of this season's fires.
Go to Avery, he'll take the pump off your back.
It's pretty strenuous. When you get to about lap 19, 20-ish, it turns mental. You want to quit, and you can't quit. You just got to push yourself through it and keep going. I did it for 10 years, and I don't miss that one bit.
Time. Good job.
A little nauseous, tired. Luckily, my time was 13 minutes and 38 seconds. That's good enough to not get kicked out of here, so I'm ready to start training. I'm excited.
Congratulate the rookie.
The L'Orange Fire Base is a key hub of the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency. Headquartered in Prince Albert, the agency oversees a network of fire bases and tanker bases across the province's boreal forest.
Here at the fire base, we're all about getting boots on the ground, but we work very closely with the tanker base as they attack the fire from the air.
My name's Eric. I am the Air Attack Program Manager, currently based here in L'Orange. We have a variety of aircraft. We've got 2 different bird dog aircraft that'll lead those air tankers into our missions. We have the amphibious CL-215T, the aircraft that lands on the water, scoops that load, drops it, and then returns back to the water to continue. And we also have the Convair 580, which is a land-based aircraft which drops the fire retardant.
My name is Mackenzie, and I'm an air attack officer. I'm very proud of my Métis heritage. I'm extremely honored to be the first female air attack in Saskatchewan. Our job as air attacks is to contain wildfires from the air. We work with helicopters, ground crews, communities. We're all striving for the same thing, make sure everyone's safe.
We have a new recruit, Travis, who's aspiring to be an air attack officer.
I spent a few years fighting forest fires on the ground. Then I decided I'd apply for air attack and see how it went.
Travis.
Hey, Eric.
How you doing? Nice to meet you. What is it about the position that interests you? What made you want to pursue it?
What really caught my attention with it is it's about the highest level of management above a fire that I can get without sitting behind a desk.
We're looking for individuals who have 5 years as ground firefighting experience, as well as some higher level decision-making, which Travis has.
All of the background credentials you provided me, your resume, the interview that we've done, I think you have a very good chance of being a successful candidate.
Before Travis is accepted as a trainee, he has to pass what veterans call a gut check flight.
A gut check flight is taking the candidate into the aircraft, flying what we would expect to do on a fire mission to see if they don't get sick.
For them to be able to do the job, they need to be able to have a strong stomach.
Travis, I'm going to give you the sick sack just in the off chance you do feel ill.
There's a good chance they will get sick.
If Travis's stomach can handle the twists and turns of a typical mission, his dream of becoming an air attack officer will end today.
A gut check flight is taking the candidate into the aircraft, flying what we would expect to do on a fire mission to see if they don't get sick.
For them to be able to do the job, they need to be able to have a strong stomach.
We went through some pretty hard banks, low-level flying.
They toss and turn. You're getting thrown around in that plane.
There's a good chance they will get sick.
It all went well. I managed to keep my lunch down. If I make it through the trainee program, I'll be up in the air over the fires, and one of the voices everyone hears from above.
One of our courses that we do in the spring is we do chainsaw training with all staff.
Okay, guys, these are the notches we're going to be doing.
To battle wildfires deep in the forest, crews often need to cut down a section of trees big enough to land a helicopter.
In certain situations, you use different cuts, so you have to know and be practiced up and up to speed on all the cuts.
That's the open face. And there's the Humboldt down here. He's new to a chainsaw, so I didn't expect him to be like 100%.
It's a lot harder than it looks. It takes a lot of practice to get really good at it.
With that being said, you guys did a good job.
With the fire season looming, the team also needs to make sure all of their equipment is in good working order. Along with hoses and pumps, an important part of their firefighting kit is the aerial ignition device. It will play a key role in the fight to save the town of Stanley Mission.
We have our AID machine, which is a burn machine. We use this little ball to fight fire with fire. We'll hook this up to a helicopter, and once they hit the ground, in about 2 or 3 seconds, they'll ignite.
The plastic balls contain a chemical compound called potassium permanganate. When injected with glycol, they ignite in less than a minute.
You got a fire coming this way, and what you do is you light up to take that fuel away from the main fire, and you suck those two fires in together. It's not going to put it right out, but it's going to allow you to get ground crews in there.
Power on.
Power on.
Agitator on.
Agitator on.
Glycol on.
Glycol on.
Suits open.
Chutes open. Balls dropping.
Ping pong balls lighting on fire just from the chemicals and the powder that's in them. It's pretty cool.
So when you first start training as an air attack officer, you're given the bombing procedures guide and you are to study it and know it inside and out.
He has to understand how to fight fire from the air, which is different, obviously, from the ground.
Then we're gonna make our way into the cockpit.
First couple times I sat in the cockpit, it was a lot to take in.
I'm gonna get you to show me where the COM 1, COM 2, FM1, and FM2 are.
So this would be COM 1.
Yeah.
That's an AM. This would be COM 2 over here.
As an air attack officer, our main job basically is we're the eyes in the sky. You have a lot of controls you're working with, and you have to be on the ball. Sometimes you're at fires and there's 2 planes, 4 planes, 6 planes. You're gonna have helicopters there. Every fire is completely different. So you're gonna be busy as it is, but just take a deep breath and slow down. Like, don't rush it. Once you start rushing it and panicking, that's when stuff starts to go wrong.
He will be in very stressful situations. We need to give him the ability to make very quick, informed decisions. Communication is critical.
crew leaders up front, you talk to me when people gets out.
With fire season approaching fast, firefighters in La Ronge prepare for the most dangerous exercise at the base, hover exit training.
It's where you get out of the helicopter where it's still in the air and it's not quite fully on the ground.
Try not to get your feet under the skid. In case we come back down, it'll be painful.
We practice hover exit for areas that we cannot land suitably in.
So you can get dropped off in a place on the fire that you can't land fully yet. So like on top of a beaver dam, for example.
It's a high-risk maneuver, but we train for it, we practice it, and we do it over and over again.
We wait out on the field and the helicopter comes and hovers beside us.
And when a helicopter comes down, it almost blows you over, and it's a lot of wind and it's super loud.
Getting in and out of a helicopter while it's flying demands perfect communication between the pilot and the firefighters.
You're relying on a pilot to hold your machine steady as your crew is getting out onto the skids, and any wrong movement could result in fatalities.
With spring training ending, the next hover exits will take place on the edge of the season's first big fire. For rookies like Aidan, it'll be an anxious leap into the unknown.
The pressure's on, you don't want to screw up. You want to try to do a good job and impress the veterans.
Before Travis can attack fire from the air, he must first prove he's ready in a series of simulated fire missions.
We have a simulator room where we have different flight stations that mirror our tankers or bird dogs.
Clear left, clear right.
We had Travis as the air attack officer. I flew the bird dog. Mackenzie was evaluating Travis's performance.
You check 167. Airborne this time.
We had Leon flying the helicopter and Ethan flying the Convair with the fire retardant.
He took off from La Ronge and headed south of La Ronge to go fight a fire by the junction. There ended up being a spot fire ahead of the fire.
Fire is approximately 4 hectares in size, burning in C2. Looks like a rank 5 at this time. One of my first priorities then became to get a load of fire retardant in front of that spot fire.
Which was a good decision.
We're going to keep the spot fire under your left wing and keep retardant as close to the fire line as possible.
Okay, we check that.
Travis identified the left flank as a priority. It had more trees or denser trees. Travis's decision to do the left flank was very appropriate.
We're going to tag onto that load and dogleg left. Drop height looked good. Just a step right and 3/4 of that load short.
After he dropped 2 loads on the left flank, we were called back to base, so that was the end of our mission.
Your run descriptions were good. Your terminology was good. So at the end of the sim session, we have a debrief. I just have one question regarding why on your last drop did you choose to just use 1/3 of a load instead of using the whole load?
We were recalled to La Ronge to go to a new start, and I would have sent him just direct with his full load, but need that 1/3 off to land.
He was catching on very fast. He had a few minor details that we had to talk about, and he's going to be in the plane right away here.
I had no airspace issues. I don't know, 471 or the helicopter pilot? No. His goal is to become an air attack officer, and he's now 1 step closer.
With the weather heating up, nervous anticipation spreads through the fire base.
Yeah, the numbers are starting to climb here, guys. We're gonna get busy, and when we get busy, it's not gonna end. We'll be working long days. That's the nature of the business. Now that our spring training's done, things are gonna get real here. We don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. Fire season's here.
Within days, a forest fire big enough to create its own weather will threaten a remote community and push everyone to the brink.
Just remember, though, at the end of the day, we don't have to be heroes out here. Just make sure everybody comes home safe at the end of the night. I'll buy you guys supper.
I'm pretty nervous. I've never seen a forest fire up close.
Worst comes to worst, you stop, drop, and roll.
We're not just protecting communities, we're also protecting the land.
There's a lot of people that we all work together to accomplish the goal at the end of the day. That's to save the North. During breaks or when there's downtime, our guys are like a family here. They play dice together, they play horseshoes, they cook meals together. Sometimes we get fed extremely well around here. Guys will bring in walleye, moose meat, caribou meat. Doug just brought in a bunch of fresh caught walleye and Moose fried it up for us, and we had one of a feast.
Yeah, my foot is not healed. I can work, but...
Matt is a crew leader here in La Ronge. We all look up to him, pretty much all of us younger guys.
Actually, it felt like a broken leg because that blister was just on fire. Oh.
He's got a pretty big sense of humor. He's always cracking jokes.
And I was running back and forth, you know.
He's fluent in 3 languages, Cree, English, and bull.
I was working like a 20-year-old.
He jokes around with the guys, but when it's time to get the work done, he puts his foot down and the work gets done.